Yeah, obviously it's pretty damn dark, so I don't know if you're... This probably isn't real entertaining unless you just like the sound of my voice. Which apparently some people do, so go figure. I don't know if everybody's watching, but I just drove through a pretty nice skunk smell, so that was fun. It was kind of pretty literally in my face. Thankfully, I didn't get sprayed. You know, one of the things I'm thinking about if I make that long trek down PCH back to San Diego here in a few weeks, I've had the same, call it like a daydream or a vision or something, of driving through, you know, some of the pretty places like Big Sur or Redwoods. Well, I don't even know where these places are. They may be north instead, but I got to do some research on that. But I've had this vision of driving through some of those areas, and I've been to some of those areas from the standpoint of vegetation and wildlife when I went to Lake Tahoe. And when I was in Lake Tahoe several years back, there were bears everywhere. I saw, well, I've had very close encounters. One in particular that I was maybe 15 feet, maybe 10 feet away from what I estimate to be about a 300-pound black bear, and that was when I was at I think it was Sequoia National Park. And anybody who knows me well knows that wildlife and I get along smashingly well, because once again they know their own kind. And so I'm 10 foot from this damn bear that I followed down a hill because I'm a photographer and that's what I do. I get as close to the wildlife as I can to get the best possible photos. So basically what happened was well, let me finish my vision of what might happen if I go down south. I had this vision of a bear running in front of the motorcycle and me having to avoid it and then run away from it on the bike. So that's fun to think about, except for terrifying. But I have that vision because I have had bear encounters. So back to the bear story at Sequoia. I was just wandering out around like the RV area for parking, getting ready to go on a little hike. I remember it was Father's Day, and I was working in Hanford, California. And I just took a little trip for myself because I was 6 hours away from home, and I did like every other weekend trips back for safety reasons because I got so tired. And so I'm at Sequoia National Park, and there's this big giant rock in this RV area, and there were these kids playing in the area, and one of them said something that sounded like bees, as in like buzz buzz bees. And I heard his mom like yell at him or something, and then he pointed to something, which I hadn't seen until I saw him pointing it, and it was a black bear very close to him and me. And so a bunch of people gathered around, you know, looky-loos if you will, and this bear kind of meandered down the hill slowly toward another parking lot. And so I had a camera in my hand and I had a knife in my pocket. So I pull out my knife, and by the way, you're allowed to open carry in these parks, so I wasn't doing anything stupid by doing this. I was actually safety minded when I did it. Although the not safety minded part was I actually followed the bear down the hill where he was going to get as close as I could for photos. Well, the bear, I thought he had gone straight when he had actually turned left, because I let him get far enough away from me where I was safe, I thought. And so I just keep walking down the hill. I'm thinking he's way down the hill at this point, and I walk by a restroom, real small little building, and so I turn left to walk up a path to get up on a hill so I can look down better and see if he's down there. And the bear had turned left, right next to the bathroom. So as I'm looking at this bathroom and thinking about going up the hill, I hear the bear clawing its way through a tree stump looking for grubs, I'm assuming. And I'm literally 10 feet away from it, maybe. I don't know how far I was, but I was very close. And I remember just literally backstepping, walking backwards, whatever you want to call it, going around the corner, then basically doing an about face, and very carefully walking away. But I do have photos of that encounter. It was definitely a life experience. I've had a lot of experiences like that because I'm just who I am as I ride along the ocean on a motorcycle. Life's good, guys. Life's really, really, really good. And I'm not just saying that about me. I'm saying that to everybody because we're still alive and breathing. I guarantee there's people that care about you. We're living in a really weird time, and it's affecting people's mental health. And that's also part of what I'm doing with my videos, is trying to help people get better. The binaural beats technology in my videos is very, very powerful. I know that because I've used it. And I used it when I was going through a very, very stressful time in my life. And that escape, I'll even tell you what program I used when I learned about this technology. It's also in a book, well-documented scientific research, lots of empirical evidence. There's a book called Thresholds of the Mind, where they use these binaural beats. And this guy was basically the founder of it, Bill Harris, who is now deceased. I found that out from another Marine when I was trying to look for the guy to interview him. And basically, I've read this book. I've used the sound technology, which is available to purchase. It's not cheap, but it's very, very effective and worthwhile in my opinion. Hence the reason I'm making these videos. But if you go to the website Centerpoint, all one word, Centerpoint with an E on the end, .com, you can order a demo of his soundtracks. Well, it's called Holosync Research Institute. is the name of the company that makes it, or organization. And the program, the meditation program itself, which basically makes you meditate like a experienced monk. I mean, it's very effective. Is called the Holosync Solution. But I highly recommend, if you're at all interested in this kind of sound technology for healing or just general relaxation, it's great for going to sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping, I very highly recommend checking this out. Just check out the demo, it's free. I haven't been to that website in a while, but the demo in and of itself is pretty damn impressive. So, again, I highly encourage you to go visit that website, learn a little bit about it, and that is the same technology I have embedded in my videos. It's you know, God has differences, but it's the same basic concept. Same healing power. The way the binaural beats work, and I've always wanted to educate people on this because I think a lot of people do not understand the stuff I'm talking about, and I didn't either. Not until I started doing it myself and seeing how good I was feeling. It basically puts a 8 hertz in one ear. It's just a sound tone. It's like a buzz. And then it puts 13 hertz in the other ear. And the combination of those two things, what happens is your brain, when you're wearing stereo headphones, tries to normalize the two tones. And it's easier to show you with my hands, when obviously I'm not going to take my hands off the handlebars to do it. But essentially your brain tries to make those sounds the same, and in doing so, it creates new neural pathways in your brain. It balances your brain. So if you've had trauma, people that have had a lot of trauma, if they get a brain scan, their brains are very splotchy looking. They're discolored. You know, it's like a series of blues and oranges and purples, and they do the same thing looking at people who've done drugs and heavy drinkers and stuff like that. But when you see a damaged brain in a brain scan, it's kind of ugly. After the meditation, and again, there is very much empirical evidence to back this up, after the meditation with binaural beats, the brain looks just like a well-oiled machine. And I've felt it, I've experienced it a lot, and there's just nothing like it. So I'm using someone else's idea, but I'm using it for all the right reasons. It's not proprietary per se. It's fairly easy technology to incorporate. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty interesting stuff. Interesting, powerful healing, so on and so forth. It looks as if I have one viewer on this, but I can't see who it is. So I'm sitting here at a stoplight. No, I'm not. So again, this video is intended to take you all to Half Moon Bay near San Francisco. I drove by it apparently. It's hard to see the road signs. I need to, next time I attempt this, go during the daytime a little bit more. I tried to get a Sunset Incorporated and all that, but I was busy hiring a marketing director for Dallas The Voice, so I was kind of busy. I have to admit it's getting slightly easier for me to utter the words Dallas The Voice. So Richwell, your brainwashing techniques apparently work. Seeing some awfully pretty stars out here. It's socked in, but I'm guessing I'm seeing Venus and Saturn or something. I'm not sure. Yippee-ki-yay! I love these tunnels. They're so much fun. I've always liked these tunnels ever since I was a kid. Never saw myself doing this, though. Doc! Colin Mackay. What's happening, man? I know you're not a chiropractor anymore, or at least I don't think you are, but, never did get around to hanging up any artwork in your clinic. Good ambitions, good intentions. Sorry about that. That's on me, probably. I think it was a little mixture of both. I think we're having some decision-making problems on what we were going to do exactly. But that may have been all me. I don't know. Sorry, never happened. I have this slight tendency to spread myself pretty thin with various projects and whatnot. I still enjoy photography, but I enjoy this more. Thank you to the car that just flashed me unnecessarily when my brights aren't even on, going around a curve. How kind of you. Doc, if you're still watching, I can't see right now, but if you're still watching, dude, I haven't done anything to fix my back in so long. I'm pretty jacked up. And I've got a torn rotator cuff that I'm pretty sure you know me well enough by now to know that I don't exactly take the best care of repairing my various injuries from my crazy-ass life choices. So I'm pretty much just a big ball of arthritis, and I just have to laugh because I'm like, well, that's what happens, you know. You live hard, have a great time, make some great stories, and then you just kind of suffer in pain, and that's okay. That's part of the life experience. I think you're the only one watching. I can't really see safely, but one thing I always enjoyed about our chiropractic visits were you would ask me things like, why do you think your sciatica is flaring up, or where did it come from? And then I would tell you about our Marine Corps training, and you'd look at me and be like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty serious. I remember one of the ones that got your attention was telling you about how we used to do what they called body hardening, where we would kick each other in the sciatic nerve over and over again until we'd fall down, to theoretically deaden the nerves. That was the overarching intent of the Marine Corps martial arts program. That one probably could have used a little bit more thought, because for some odd reason I tend to have sciatica sometimes. Who knew? That didn't even make any sense. This place is pretty doggone windy.